Pedal to the metal! Many trains on the island of New Florida are proud of being healthy and strong. They pull passengers, freight, and gender products to wherever they need to go to be really useful indeed. Amtrak is the largest passenger railroad in the United States, going to 9 cities in Canada and others in the United States. Many trains on the tracks are really useful with positive train control. The Northeast Corridor is a special electrified railroad in the United States too, along with the Keystone Corridor, which is also electrified. Amtrak does a good job on this line with electric locomotives that are really useful, along with Amtrak's Acela Express. Many trains on the rails go really fast to make up for lost time while they go up and down the main line to be really useful indeed. A woman train is a special railroad vehicle too, because they're really useful with gender products at the gender hub, while the men trains do their work. And this is what makes gender vehicles really useful indeed. Commuter trains are important too. They stop in local areas, while the cab car is in front and the locomotive is in rear, while the train is really useful indeed. Over in the shunting yard, Carla, Fiona, and Melanie were getting their wheels oiled when Mr. Cakester had an important job for them. "Today, you three," Mr. Cakester said, "I'm sending you to collect a big mega train." "That sounds like a plan, sir," they said, and they steamed through the countryside. Before long, the mega train was hooked up and the engine steamed out of the yard. "This is the longest train we ever pulled," Carla said. "It sure is," said Fiona. "It takes a lot for a big woman train to do her work," said the other. In the Amfleet car, it was lovely with all the seats. "Takes a lot for a big woman train to do her work," said Melanie in the rear. It sure was. And the train was big. Over in the countryside, the big train was huge, and the whole passengers saw the train way ahead. It was the largest train New Florida has ever seen. And in the freight yard was some boxcars. And ahead, a crude oil train was making way to Chicago, Illinois. "Crude oil is very slippery," said Carla, "so we must be careful because we have sandboxes." And in the dining car, the passengers were having their dinner and the train zoomed by. And the train picture was on the wall. It was a woman train, and that night the passengers were in their roomettes and bedrooms while the train moved along. It was cozy at night while the engines had their lamps on. Early the next morning, the passengers were having breakfast in the dining car. "We enjoy doing work," Carla said, "because Elaine and Melanie are waiting for Lariah to pass, because there's nothing in her way." And then they steamed up a steep grade. It was the longest train ever. "We'll make it over soon," said Fiona. And in the passenger car, it was lunchtime and the train steamed down the Northeast Corridor. And then the Amtrak Palmetto came into view. It was going to Savannah, Georgia. And in the Amfleet car, the train roared by. Meanwhile, Lariah was pulling a train, and in the siding, Elaine and Melena were parked, and Lariah came to a grinding halt. There was a tractor trailer on the tracks, and before she knew it, Carla, Fiona, and Melanie were fast approaching. "I should blow my whistle," called Lariah. "There's a tank truck on the line!" "Watch out, Lariah!" called Carla. "We can't stop!" Then she saw the truck on the line. Her driver slammed on the brakes. And her driver and fireman jumped clear. And then it was too late! "Oh no!" they cried. "We're never coming back!" Yes, you are!" called Elaine and Melena. Fire raged into the air, and at last, everything came to a stop. After the fire was out, the wreck was catastrophic. The other cars in rear stayed upright, and the brake van stayed on the tracks, while the other cars were derailed, and it was a catastrophic mess. Carla had flipped upside down and was feeling crumpled, and Melena was on her side. "Things are gonna be fine soon," said Elaine. "Don't worry," said Carla. "They will." A few days later, the wreck was cleaned up, and the trains were being really useful once more. Every passenger railroad in the United States and Hotesliket are really grand. And even though that wreck was pretty bad, all the trains on the rails can only hope that there's nothing repeated in the future.